Hello and welcome to our information session on our junior production for year 3s to 6 on Beauty and the Beast. So this session will hopefully tell you all of the information that you need to know about our upcoming production, which we hope to see many of our junior school students involved in. This is the first time we have had a year 3 to 6 production, and we hope to see many of our students taking to the stage for this junior show. So we've chosen Beauty and the Beast because it has a large ensemble, it has many dances so we can get all of our dancers involved, and it has a wide range of parts that suit lots of different students. There are singing parts, there are acting parts, there are dancing parts, so there should be something for everybody. It is a junior school production, it is a junior production from MTI, and it's 60 minutes long, so it's shorter production for our younger students, but there's still plenty to do, and plenty of those songs that you will know, from Be Our Guest to Tale as Old as Time, and some others that you may not have heard from before. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how the process works, what students need to do, and then all of the information will be sent out to you along with the audition form as well. So our auditions are going to take place during the school day on November the 28th, and this will be in the afternoon. This is for all students who wish to be part of the cast. From 2 till 3 p.m. we will have some workshops, and that will be a singing workshop where they will learn Be Our Guest and perform in some small groups. Then we'll have a dance workshop where they'll also dance along to this, and anyone who's looking to be a featured dancer will perform in a slightly smaller group. And we'll have an acting workshop where students will work together across each year group to show their skills as actors. If any students are then looking for a main part, and we'll come on to what are the main parts very shortly, then they will stay from between 3 till 4 and they will perform a short section of a song. All of the information, the audition information, will be sent out to you and will be discussed with students in person as well, so they know exactly what they need to prepare. There is nothing to prepare for students who just wish to be part of the ensemble or a dancer, or a smaller speaking part. It's the parts that are the bigger parts, such as Belle, Beast, Gaston, Le Fou, Cogsworth, Lumiere, Babette, Madame de la Bouche, Mrs. Potts and Chip. And these will all be shown on some later slides for you. All of this information will be sent out as well, so please don't worry if I'm going a little bit quick. So on to our next slide. Here are our characters. So again, I will send out all of this information rather than reading it through to you now. But what we're looking for is students that kind of fit these parts. Some of these are singing parts, some are non-speaking parts. So I'll just go through them very briefly. Belle is obviously the lead in our show along with Beast. Belle is a singing role, has a couple of songs, and we will be listening to the song Home as part of the audition process in that second hour of the auditions. We're looking for somebody who's a strong singer and a strong performer. They need to show that they're an independent person, that they also have a caring side to them when working with the Beast, and a fun side to them in some of the other dance numbers as well. The Beast, we are looking for somebody who is a strong performer, who's able to show a range of emotions, from that nasty Beast at the beginning who's really horrible to Belle, to that kind of more vulnerable character that we see towards the end that Belle falls for. Then we're looking for some narrators. Now, depending on how the auditions go, will depend on our number of narrators, but this is a non-singing part and suits a confident performer who's able to do some storytelling and help move the story forwards. The old beggar woman / the enchantress, that's one character. That isn't a speaking part, isn't a singing part, but it is an acting part, and this opens the show with the transformation. So this needs to be somebody who can really take on this character, who can use their facial expressions and their movement to really engage the audience from the opening. Gaston is a singing role. The character there is pompous, dim-witted, and do whatever it takes to win Belle's hand. Now, he's obviously quite popular with all the other girls except for Belle. So that needs to be somebody who's quite a confident, outgoing character. Maurice is Belle's father, so we're looking for somebody who can portray this character. This is a non-singing role, though. Then we have Le Fou, who is Gaston's sidekick, and this is a singing part, sings part of the song Gaston along with Gaston, and we're looking for chemistry between those two characters, Gaston and Le Fou. Then we have a number of girls, and these are the girls that sing as part of the song Gaston, and they're really the ones that are kind of after Gaston, unlike Belle. So we are looking for some singers that work well together for those roles. Then we've got all of our servants that have been turned into the household items in Beast's castle. So this is Lumiere, Cogsworth, Mrs. Potts, Madame de la Grande Bouche, Babette. Those are all of those parts that are featured parts who have a speaking or singing part within some of those songs. So they sing a couple of songs, they sing in Be Our Guest and Human Again, and Human Again is what will be the audition number for all of those parts, with the exception of Mrs. Potts, who will be singing the song Beauty and the Beast, which I'm sure you'll probably have known. You may know it's Tale as Old as Time. That's how the song sort of starts. So they will all sing Human Again, with the exception of Mrs. Potts. This is on a later slide, and I'll go through this again for you as well. So Lumiere and Cogsworth have a kind of bickering between them, so we need some characters that are going to play against each other quite nicely. Mrs. Potts is the sort of mumsy character, so needs to have more of a caring approach. Chip is the son or daughter. I'm quite happy for any of these parts, Lumiere, Cogsworth, Chip, even Madame de la Grande Bouche, to be played by either male or female character students. So it really doesn't matter. It's about the characterisation rather than what gender students are. So then we have Monsieur d'Arc, who is a non-singing role, and this is, we're looking for a sinister character who's kind of works for Gaston and is quite nasty to some of the townspeople and to Maurice Belle's father. Then, although it's got ensemble roles listed, there are featured casting, and it says that at the top there, within the ensemble. So we are looking for some featured villagers who will have some singing lines, who will have some speaking lines. So as well as those main characters that are listed there, there are some featured parts within the ensemble, and we're looking for featured dancers for those big dance numbers as well. So in terms of how it all works, you will be sent a link to an audition form, which all students need to fill out, and obviously you can fill that out with them and talk it through with them. They will need to indicate all of the parts that they wish to be considered for. So if they want to be considered for the Beast, Gaston, Maurice, Le Fou, they need to list all of those. They will then be asked a separate question about which is their first choice. And if they're going for a principal role, this is what they will do in that second hour of auditions on the 28th of November. So we're only looking for them to prepare one thing for that second part of the auditions. If they're just looking to be ensemble or a featured dancer or one of our smaller roles, and this will be really clearly indicated on the form, they don't need to prepare anything and they don't need to come to that second hour of auditions. They just need to do the workshops in that first hour. All of this is indicated on your form, and that will help us then in our decision making and our planning for the auditions as well. So students will indicate what part they are and to select that first choice, and that's what happens on the audition day. The first hour is for everybody, nothing to prepare at all, but if students do wish to listen to the song Be Our Guest, if they're not familiar with it, then they can do this before the auditions so that they're a little bit more familiar with it, but we will learn it in the workshop and perform a small section of the chorus of that. The second hour, as I say, is for principals only, and they will have some things to prepare, and that's here. So these are the characters who will need to prepare something for the second hour of auditions. So Belle is the song Home, and I will send out to you the section of Home that we're looking for. It's not the whole song, it's just a short section. We will perform this as a group. So everybody who's there will learn the section of it. Then those who are looking to perform Belle will step forward and perform that on their own. There's going to be no script for these auditions. It's just the singing that we're looking at. But we are looking, of course, for acting through that singing. So it's really important when students are preparing that they prepare to sing in character. We're not just looking for people that can sing the song beautifully. We are looking for actors as well as singers. But we're looking through that through the song. So I will give some direction on the day as well. We'll talk about the characters, we'll talk about what they're like, and I'm hoping to see that then through students' performances of the song. So Belle will be preparing and learning on the day the song Home and performing a section of that. The Beast will be performing something there. Gaston and Le Fou will be performing a section of the song Gaston. Lumiere, Cogsworth, Babette and Madame de la Grande Bouche and Chip will be preparing and singing Human Again. Again, it's only a small section of that song which I will send out to you, so please don't feel like you have to prepare the whole thing. And Mrs. Potts will be singing Beauty and the Beast, because this is her solo song in the show. Those are the only parts that need to stay for the second hour of the auditions. So if people are interested in the other parts, such as Monsieur d'Arc, or the girls in the Gaston song, or Maurice, or the Old Beggar Woman, or Enchantress, or narrators, they don't need to prepare anything. They don't need to stay for that second hour. They just need to be there for the first hour. And those are the only characters that need to stay for that second hour. We will cast, therefore, those other characters. They're still principal parts, but we will cast those from the workshop. So we're looking in that workshop for students acting. We're looking at how well they sing or work as a group. And we're looking at their dancing as well. But the main thing that we'll be looking at is through the acting workshop. Students won't need to prepare anything at all for that. It'll all be improvisation based. There's no script to learn. So please don't worry about any of that at all. So our rehearsals are going to be on a Monday and Wednesday, and it's really important for students who are part of the show that they are committed to the rehearsals. On Mondays, it's for all cast. That's where we'll do all of our big numbers, all of our ensemble, all of the parts where people are on stage acting, etc. And then on Wednesdays, it's just those who have a named part. On Wednesdays, and both of those rehearsals go from 4 o'clock through till 5:30, and we'll be over in the senior school. It's really important, as I say, that people are committed to those rehearsals, because otherwise we won't be able to prepare fully for the show. Alongside that, we will have at least one Sunday rehearsal. That date will be sent out to you with the audition pack material, so that you're able to know that date in advance. And it's really important that all the students are there for that, particularly principals, but for everybody. It will be principals in the morning, then we'll have a lunch break, and then it will be all cast in the afternoon. And this is when we really bring the whole show together, because although the show is only 60 minutes long, even in an hour and a half rehearsal, we don't tend to get through the whole thing. So it's really important that we have that Sunday to be able to put everything together. So on to show week itself. So we have on Monday, the 12th of May, our technical rehearsal. This is all day. This is for students to get used to working with the microphones, working with the set, any set changes we have, etc. And that will be in the theatre all day, nothing after school, all in the school day, and they will have lunch and break as normal on that day. On Tuesday, the 13th of May, we'll have a slow dress rehearsal. And what that means is it's in costume, but we'll stop and start if there are things that need work, if there are set changes or scene changes that need any work. So that goes through from 12 o'clock. They'll have an slightly earlier lunch, and then we'll rehearse until our normal end of rehearsal time, which would be 5:30. So we will rehearse until 5:30. On that Tuesday. I know that the rehearsals are only normally Mondays and Wednesdays, but this is only on that week. So there'll be no after school rehearsal on the Monday that week. We will have after school on the Tuesday instead in show week. And then on Wednesday, the 14th of May, we have a dress rehearsal, and that's during the school day. They'll have a slightly earlier lunch and then finish at 4 o'clock. And then we have our shows. So our shows are Thursday, the 15th of May in the evening at 6 o'clock. Friday the 16th of May in the evening at 6 o'clock. All casts are needed from 5 o'clock on both those days. They do need to be collected from school and taken for food. They can't stay at school unless they're booked into extended day. I'll send again all of this out in an information letter to you as well. Then on Saturday we have two shows. We have a 12 o'clock show. All casts need to be there from 11 o'clock. And then we have an evening/later afternoon show at 5 o'clock. So students will be able to go away in between and will need to go home in between or out for food in between. The show is about an hour, so they'll be finished by 1 o'clock, have a few hours, come back for the final show. So that is all of the information for Beauty and the Beast, our junior version for years 3 to 6. If your child would like to take part and you have any other questions that haven't been communicated in this information session, please wait until all of the information gets sent out to you. If you have any questions after that, please do feel free to email me. And we hope to see as many students as possible taking part in this fantastic show, and we hope to welcome you to then watch their performances in May. Thank you very much, and if you have any questions, please do get in touch with me. Thank you.